Hi everyone. So the topic for today is ICSE Premier League Match 2. Okay, so this is the topic that I'm going to discuss today is about the genetics. So mainly in this session we'll be discussing about 3 marks question as well as 5 mark question. Okay, so before I start, let me introduce my 1 second. Yeah, let me just check if I'm audible. Yeah, so before I introduce, before I start, let me introduce myself. I'm Vani Kari, biology educator at Unacademy. I'm an engineer with bachelor's and master's degree in biotechnology and a B.Ed degree. Also a founder of a startup where I grow microgreens by vertical farming technology. Okay, so let's get started. So join with us in Telegram for homework and class notes. You can join the channel Vani Kari ICSE Class 9 and 10 Biology. Okay, and the Telegram. Just a second. So there is some network issue. Let me just check this. Okay, it's fine, right? Yeah, it's fine. Okay. So join with us in Telegram for homework and class notes. You can join the channel Vani Kari ICSE Class 9 and 10 Biology. Okay. And the Telegram channel of Unacademy, ICSE and ISC both. So this link you can find in the description box. So click on the link and join the channel for updates regarding the classes. So special classes you can learn from your favorite educator for free. So these classes are absolutely free and we conduct it on Unacademy platform. So all you need to do is download the Unacademy Learners app and select your classes and update about your information so that you can find the relevant special classes, that is free classes. So you can learn from your favorite educator, engage with the educator via polls. We'll be conducting a quiz and by the end of the quiz we'll be sharing the leaderboard so that you will know your rank. Okay, and once you know the rank, so basically you can compete with your friends also for the further questions. So you can also clear your doubt in the live special class using the question tab. So there is a separate section where you can type in your question, attach an image and send it to the educator during a live session. So they'll be clearing your doubt as they'll be getting a notification. So for the top special classes, you can visit the link in the description. Okay, so Unacademy subscription features. Main thing, you will be learning live from the comfort of your home. Okay, unlimited access to all the courses will be there. So this is basically different educators will come up with different courses, so you will have access to all the courses once you take the subscription. Then top educators of India are going to take the classes in one platform, that is Unacademy platform. Then there is regular doubt clearing session. So after about every 3 session, okay, the fourth session will be your doubt clearing session. So any doubt you have related to the topics that are previously covered, so you can clear your doubt in this particular session. So that is a doubt clearing session. Okay, then complete syllabus will be covered. Mentorship and guidance is given. Study material in the form of a PDF is given. The practice tests are given. The live test series are going to happen. Then along with that, you will have access to batch courses also. So depending on your preference, you can either go for the English batch or English batch. Okay, so this is completely your choice. So you can go for any of these batches. So there is a daily practice session also along with this, weekly mock test series, live quizzes, daily MCQ and subjective test series will also be there. So you can go for all of this with the subscription. And now there is a price hike. Okay, so like price hike is coming soon. So if you're planning to take the subscription, so you can do it faster. So for class first 10. So you can also try with 3 months of subscription, like if you want to know like how exactly this works, so you can go for this. For class 10 again, you can also try with 12 months of subscription. So since this is the very beginning, so for 12 months this is gonna be around 15K once you apply a code. Okay, so that is the Vani YT is the code. So with this referral code, you will be getting 10% discount on the subscription. So with that, maybe like it is gonna get reduced to 13.5K. So you can go for the subscription. So you can make it faster because the prices are rising soon. Okay, so go for the subscription now and prepare well for your exams, because will be actually we have started with the syllabus where we are going to cover the midterm portion by the end of June, but again we'll be coming up with the new batches as well. So you will have access to all the different batches once you take the subscription. So it's better you can go for the subscription at a faster rate. Okay, alright, so whatever questions that I have added here, so these are taken from the Together With and also from this particular link. Okay, so let's see this part. Just a second. So you see this question that is added here. Okay, so homozygous plant having a round and yellow seed. Okay, so what they have taken, so the round seed is taken and it is a yellow seed as well. Okay, so they have taken a round and yellow seed. So this is crossed with the homozygous plant having a wrinkled and a green seed. Okay, so this is a recessive character. So wrinkled is a recessive character, green is a recessive character. Here the round is a dominant character and yellow is the dominant character, and that's the reason. So these are written in capital and these are written in small. So this is basically round and yellow. Okay, so this is a round and yellow seed. Okay, and the other one is the round, sorry, so this one is basically green and wrinkled. So this is basically wrinkled green we can write, because this is for a wrinkled one. Okay, so now give the scientific name of the plant. Hi Disha, good evening. Okay, so give the scientific name of the plant on which Mendel conducted his hybridization experiments. Just a second. All right. Okay, so now give the scientific name of the plant on which Mendel conducted his hybridization experiments. So what is that scientific name of the plant on which the Mendel conducted his experiments? Any idea what is this plant now? Yes. So there is he took this plant mainly for like lots of reasons are there, like it can be grown easily, so there are different reasons, and it is an annual plant. So this particular plant he chose because it is having a easy growth. Along with that you can also find a contrasting features. Okay, so give the genotype of the F1 generation, give the dihybrid phenotypic ratio and the phenotype of the offspring, so that is of the F2 generation when the two plants of the F1 generation are crossed. Okay, then name and state the law which explain the dihybrid ratio. So which is that dihybrid ratio? Then give the possible combination of gametes which can be obtained from the F1 hybrid. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. The first one is what? Give the scientific name of the plant. So what is that scientific name here? So scientific name is basically Pisum sativum. So this is for a garden pea. Okay, so this plant is actually a garden pea plant. Okay, and the genotype of the F1 generation. So now when we take these two as the combination RRYY, okay, so this is the combination which is crossed with the wrinkled green. So this is round yellow and this is wrinkled green. So from each one of them we are going to take each gamete, okay. So this is giving us one gamete, this is giving us one gamete. From here we are getting one gamete and from here we are getting one gamete. So we'll be writing it as RRYY, okay. So this is the structure, like this is the genotype. So as they have asked the genotype of the F1 generation, so this one is now a genotype of the F1 generation, okay. So how we are writing that? Because these are gametes now. So this is a gamete, this is a gamete, this is a gamete and this is a gamete. So from these gametes we will be taking only individual units, okay. So now this is the individual unit, so this can be only one gamete because here both are same, so we will be taking only one of them. So here also both are same, so we'll be taking only one of them. So here again in the round also, like wrinkled also, so this is both the gametes are coding for the wrinkled itself, so we'll be taking one of them, and again this is also one of them. So now when we find this genotype, when we write this, so this is going to be the genotype of the plants that are produced in the F1 generation, okay. Now what is mentioned here? So give the dihybrid phenotypic ratio and the phenotype of the offspring, so that is of the F2 generation. So when the two plants of the F1 generation, so what they are doing, so they are crossing these two plants now, okay. So these two plants are being crossed, okay. So then what would be the condition? So dihybrid phenotypic ratio, so you can find when you put up net square and do this, okay. So you'll be first writing the gametes. I'll just show you this here. So what are these? Now RRYY you can find, which is crossed with the RRYY, okay. So in that case what gamete you were able to find? So this was the gamete, okay. So now in order to form the gametes from this F1 generation, because the question says that give the dihybrid phenotypic ratio and the phenotype of the offspring of the F2 generation when the two plants of the F1 generation are crossed. So now F1 generation two plants are crossed. So now this particular plant is round and yellow itself. So this is giving us round and yellow itself, because you can find one gene for one dominant gene for the round structure, the one dominant gene for the yellow coloration. So this will be suppressed and this will be suppressed. So that means this is not going to express. So now we need to write the gametes for this one, okay. So we'll be writing the gametes. So those gametes we are going to make a cross, okay. So in that case let's say this is the one. So we'll write the gamete. So this is how also this way also you can choose, okay. So this is how you'll be writing the gamete. So this is one gamete, now this is another gamete. So these are the different combination that we would do. I'll just show you this. Just a second. Okay, so you'll be writing it like this, okay. So you'll be writing it like this. So what you are going to do, so you will be writing this, okay. So this is what RY, okay, and then you will be writing this. So this is what now RY, because this is a smaller one. So these are the gametes that we are going to write, okay. So these are the gametes. Then we'll consider the small r now. So small r, the big Y. So in that case this is the one. Then we'll make a small r and then this is the one. So this is RY, okay. So this is a big Y actually. So in that case you can form the gamete this way by crossing them, okay. So since this is the F1 generation genotype that we have got, so you will be writing them separately. I'll write it one more time here so that you will understand. So I'll just erase this part, just a second. So you will write the gametes here again, okay. So how exactly gamete can be formed. So now this is the gamete that we will be writing separately. Okay, so first R you are taking, you are combining them with both of the y's. So R y you got. Okay, now again the same R you are taking, you are writing with a small y here, so that you are getting as ry. Then you will go for the next R. Okay, so next R you can see here, so R is here, then you will write it with the capital Y, so this is going to be capital Y. Then one more R you will take and you will be writing it with the small y, so in that case ry. So these are the different gametes that you would get. So once you obtain these gametes, you need to go for the Punnett square. Okay, so when you put up a Punnett square, so let's say this. So now you know this is one, just a second. Yeah. Okay, so now you can see that on this side you will be writing ry. Okay, then you will be writing this one, then you will be writing ry, and this is ry. So these are the gametes on the other side also. So we need to make a Punnett square now. So same way on this side also you'll be writing the same one. Then you are going to write ry here, then you will write the ry and then ry. So these are the gametes that are formed. So progenies that we need to show in this case. Okay, so once we put the Punnett square, so you can find a different combination, so based on the progenies that can be produced. Okay, so with respect to that, you can see that this is now RRYY. So as such we will complete, so we'll be writing this. So when you complete this Punnett square based on the characteristic feature, so you can see that the phenotypic ratio of the offspring in the F2 generation to be 9:3:3:1. Okay, so this is the phenotypic ratio that you will find. Okay, so that is 9:3:1. So in that case 9 of them are round and yellow seed. Okay, so 9 of them you will find round and yellow seed, and 3 of them you will find that they are round and green seed. Okay, so 3 of them are round and green seed. Then the rest 3 or which are there, so these are wrinkled yellow seed you can find. So you can see that all the combinations are being formed here, and the last one being the wrinkled green. So I'll just show you this last one. Okay, so you can see this is the last one, which is only one is being formed because the recessive characters are coming together. So this is going to produce a wrinkled green structure. Okay, so this is the last one. So 9 of them you can find them to have a round and yellow seed itself. So you need to complete this table, then you can find the dominant one and the recessive one in this. Okay, and is this clear? Any doubt in this? Any of you? Just a second. All right, so there is some I think I'm not able to find the link. Just a second. Okay, this is there. All right. Okay, so let's see this part now. So the next question says that the next question is basically name and state the law which explains the dihybrid ratio. So dihybrid ratio we are saying because you can see that we have taken two characters here. Okay, So I'll just clear this up. So what we have taken, so dihybrid ratio we can do only when two characters are taken. Okay, so for two characters it is always the law of independent assortment. Okay, so in that case, what are the two characters that we have taken? So it is the seed shape. Okay, and then the other character is basically a seed color. Okay, so we have taken a seed color here. So these are the two characters. So two characters cross we are doing. So it is a dihybrid cross. Okay, so this one is now a dihybrid cross. So for dihybrid cross, it is a law of independent assortment. So you can see this one. The law of independent assortment states that the factor of difference, okay, so that is, it states that the pair of contrasting character, okay, so you can find a pair of contrasting character which behave independent to each other at the time of the gamete formation. Okay, so at the time of gamete formation, what is happening? So pair of contrasting characters are there, so they are going to behave independent to each other, and at the time of fertilization, so they bring about all the possible combinations of the characters. So this law has to be written. So whichever is what law is mentioned, like in your Selena, so they have given the law, specific line it is mentioned, so you need to write the same law. Okay, so law, when you are writing, you shouldn't write your own sentences, you need to write exact same copy which is given in your Selena textbook. Okay, so go for that. So you need to I don't know like how you are going to practice it. Maybe you can write it, practice, write and practice more, or maybe you can buy it. So basically law should be written as a law itself. There is no own sentence formation is not going to help here. Okay, so next question says that give the possible combination of gametes which can be obtained from the F1 hybrid. So this I already showed you, like how the gametes can be obtained. So this is RY. So if you don't know how to go for this, so I'll just tell you this. So one thing that you can do for the gamete formation, so this was the condition now. Okay, so you don't know how to do this. One thing, you have to do it this way. But if you don't know how to go for this, so all you need to do is you can go for. So first I'll tell you how you have to do this part. So this you will be combining R and Y. So then again you will be combining the next one, so that is small r and a y here. Then other cases, basically you will be taking a small r, then you will be writing a y, then the other one again r and a y. So this way you need to do it. Okay, so that means you will combine this one. So I'll just write this. Okay, so let me just explain you this. So first you will combine with this and this. Okay, so first you are making a combination with this one. So what you are getting, ry you are getting, then you are getting ry. Okay, so that is the one. So next you need to go for the other one. So the other one I'll change the color. So now you are making a combination with this. So you need to go this way. Okay, so in that case you are making it this way. Okay, so these are the gametes that are being formed. So one more easy trick that you can go for is, so first you can write the RR here. Okay, so that is two capital R's and two small r's. Then you have to write one capital Y. Okay, just a second. So one capital Y, one small y, then one capital Y and one small y. So you can also remember it this way, but which is not a right one. So you need to learn to do this, learn to form the gametes. So that is how the gametes can be formed. Okay, so moving on to the next question. So state the Mendel's law of dominance. Okay, so then a pure tall plant, so that is crossed with the pure dwarf plant. So here the option that they have given, so Mendel's law anyway you will have to state it. Okay, So law according to the one that is given in your Selena, so you need to follow that, okay, and write the same law which is mentioned in your textbook. Okay, so now a pure tall plant is crossed with a pure dwarf plant. So draw a Punnett square to show the F1 generation as well as a F2 generation. So they are asking you to show the F1 generation as well as a F2 generation, like what would be the condition. So we will do that. Then give the phenotype of the F2 generation here. Okay, so give the phenotypic and genotypic ratio of the F1 and the F2 generation. So name any one X-linked disease found in case of a human. So state Mendel's law. So law of dominance you need to write for this. Okay, so law of dominance says what? Out of a contrasting character, so one is going to dominate, the other one is going to be recessive. So in a hybrid where both the contrasting alleles or unit factors are present, only one unit factor or one allele is dominant, that is able to express itself, while the other factor or a allele called a recessive, so that is going to remain suppressive. Okay, so that will remain suppressive. So we'll see the second question, which says about the pure tall plant that is being crossed with the dwarf plant. So we'll put up a Punnett square for this. So this is what? Pure tall. Okay, so this side it is pure tall, the other side we will take a pure dwarf. Okay, so this side we will take a pure dwarf. So this is what now? So this one is pure dwarf. Okay, so here when you put up a Punnett square, that is when you make a cross. Okay, so all the progenies that you can find, 100% of them are tall. Okay, so they are tall. So what they have asked now, so draw a Punnett square to show the F1 generation. So this is now a F1 generation. So in F1 generation you find TT. Okay, so then you need to draw the F2 generation as well. So now for F2 generation we will see this one. I will draw here. So this was the product. Okay, so this one will put up a Punnett square for this as well. So TT is there and this is a TT, so which is actually a heterozygous tall itself. So in that case you can see that, so this is going to be tall, this is going to be tall, this is going to be tall, and this is going to be dwarf. Okay, so now out of this is actually 3:1. Okay, so phenotypic ratio we can say that 3:1. So this is the separate one, so this is 1. Okay, so this is what? This is actually a phenotypic ratio, so that is for the F2 generation. So phenotypic ratio says, so it is 3:1. Okay, and what about the genotypic ratio here? So genotypic ratio you can see, so since all three are tall, so this is tall, this one is tall. Okay, so this one is tall and this is also tall, so that is why it is 3:1, because this one is dwarf. Okay, now genotypic ratio, so you can see that one of it is homozygous tall, the other two are heterozygous tall. Okay, I'll just put a different color for this. Okay, so now you can see one is homozygous tall, the other ones are actually the heterozygous tall, and this one is again a homozygous tall. So in that case, homozygous tall we are writing as a 1. Okay, then you can see there is a heterozygous tall, so this is also tall only, so 2 of them are there, so it is 2. Then you can find a homozygous dwarf. Okay, so that is 1:2:1, so that is the genotypic ratio. Okay, so this is for the F2 generation, because in F1 generation what you could find, so F1 generation they cross the pure dwarf plant with the pure tall plant, so all of them were TT. So this was the genotypic ratio. Hi Barinya, good evening after a long time. I am fine, how are you? So this one is basically a genotypic ratio. Okay, so not a genotypic ratio, so this is the genotype. Okay, so in that case you can find genotype to be tall. Okay, that is TT. And the phenotype, if we have to mention here, so phenotype is going to be all of them are heterozygous tall. Okay, so this is heterozygous tall, we can mention, you can see, because this is not at all a homozygous, so this is heterozygous tall. So this is the phenotype. So that is for which generation? For the first generation, the phenotype being heterozygous tall and the genotype being this one, that is TT only. Okay, now for the next generation, so that is the F2 generation, you can find that. So tall, this is the case that we have taken. So we have cross between the F1 plant. So in that case, 3 of them, so ratio we are writing here. Okay, so ratio being, so 3 of them are tall. So this is tall, this is tall, and this is tall. So it is 3:1. So 1 is going to be dwarf. So it is 1. Okay, and the other one, that is genotypic ratio. So you can clearly observe here. So this being homozygous. Okay, so homozygous tall we have written. So this is homo. So these two are again tall, but they are heterozygous. Okay, so because you can find different alleles, one dominant allele, one recessive allele you can find. So two of them are again tall, but these two are actually heterozygous tall. So in that case, this is the two. And then you have a homozygous here. So homozygous dwarf it is, not at all but dwarf. So we are writing the genotypic ratio 1:2:1. Okay, so this is the genotypic ratio. So question says that give the phenotype of the F2 generation. Yes, I remember. I don't think the sessions for term 2. So sessions for term 2, like tomorrow I have a doubt clearing session. Okay, so doubt clearing session at 12:15. Like any doubt you have, so you can join the session at 12:15 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow it is, so you can join the session, that is special class. Okay, so you can join in there, and whatever doubts you have before your exam starts, like I think you have it on 17th, right? So before your exam, so you can just take up this session. So any doubt you have, you can ask me, I'll clear it out. Okay, next exam we have biology. Yes. Okay, all right. So now they have asked give the phenotype of the F2 generation. So phenotype of the F2 generation is 3 of them are being tall. Okay, so 3 of them tall and 1 of them is a dwarf. So that is the phenotype that we can write. Okay, so next one says that the next question is what? Give the phenotypic and genotypic ratio of the F1 and the F2 generation. So F1 generation, we can say that phenotype all the plants are tall, genotype is TT. Okay, now in F2 generation, the phenotypic ratio is 3:1, genotypic ratio is 1:2:1, which I already explained you. Then last question is name any one X-linked disease found in case of a human. So which is that? So it can be hemophilia or it can be color blindness. Okay, so any of this. So hemophilia, color blindness, you can take an example as a X-linked inheritance. All right, so let's get with the next question. Okay, so now in a homozygous plant, that is round seeds are dominant over the wrinkled seed. Okay, so we know that the round seeds are always dominant over the wrinkled seed. Now draw a Punnett square to show the gametes and offspring when both the plants have a heterozygous round seed. Okay, so they are saying that heterozygous round seed is being formed. So we need to draw a Punnett square with the plant which is having just with one character. So it is a monohybrid cross. So we are not talking about dihybrid cross here. So what they have said, so we just need to cross these two. Okay, so in that case, let's put a Punnett square for this as well. Just a second. So now they have said it with, okay, 1 second. Okay, here. Yeah. So now this is the condition. So we need to take the heterozygous round seed. So now what you can see when you take a heterozygous round seed is, so you can see that one of them is homozygous round, the other is again a heterozygous round, the other is heterozygous round, the last one is homozygous wrinkled. So this is the only one that is wrinkled. The rest of them, so rest three of them, what are there? So like these three. Okay, so these three are round itself, so these are round, and this one is wrinkled. Now this is actually what? This is the phenotype which we get as a 3:1. Okay, so this is the phenotype now. Alright, so phenotype is three of them are round, one of them is wrinkled. So ratio, if we have to write it, so ratio is going to be 3:1. So same way genotype, so genotype is this one, so that is homozygous round, heterozygous round. Okay, and then there is homozygous wrinkle, so that is 1:2:1 is the genotype. Okay, and this one is the phenotypic ratio. Okay, so they have asked it only for a seed, that is a round seed or a wrinkle seed. Okay, now mention the phenotype and genotype ratio of the F2 generation. So this is F2 generation only that we have seen. Okay, so in F2 generation what you can see that, so phenotypic ratio being 3:1 and genotypic ratio being 1:2:1. Okay, so one second, just a second. Okay, so genotypic ratio being this one, so that is 1:2:1. So now name. Okay, so next one, the next question is name the sex chromosome in case of human males as well as a female. Okay, so they have said that name the sex chromosome in case of males as well as a female. So what are those sex chromosome in case of a male or a female? So in case of male, this is going to be X and Y. Okay, so we'll write it here. Okay, so these are the sex chromosomes that you can find in the males and the females separately. Okay, so in case of male, this is going to be X and Y. Okay, so this is X and Y. Now when we mention about a female, so this is X and X. So what exactly has happened here? So while the gamete, like while the fertilization has occurred, so this one is now a ovum. Okay, so this is a ovum. So this is the Y bearing sperm. Okay, so in that case the Y bearing sperm has made, so this is now a sperm. So there is a XY type of chromosome that you can find when a male child is formed. Okay, now in case of a female child, when we mention, so this is a ovum. Okay, X bearing ovum. The sperm which is formed, so that is a Y bearing, sorry, so this one here, it is a X bearing sperm. So that is why the female child is formed. So who is going to determine the sex of a baby or a fetus? So this is basically male is the one by by sending a specific sperm, so you can find that there is a particular sex formation, so either a male or a female one. All right. So briefly explain the term mutation. So this is the term mutation you need to know. So what is the number of chromosomes in the gametes of human being also that we need to know here. Any doubt? Any of you? Let me just check. All right. Okay, so now briefly explain the term mutation. So what exactly is mutation? So mutation is basically any sudden change in one or the more genes or number and structure of chromosomes, so that we call as a mutation. So let's see here. I'll just explain you this. One second here. Okay. So let's see what exactly is mutation. So now when we mention about a mutation, so let's say specific sequence of a DNA is there. So there can be A, T, G, C, T, T, M, which is coding for one type of protein. So let's say this is going to form a hemoglobin protein. Okay. So this is going to form what? Hemoglobin protein. Now, if there is a mutation, so that is a sudden change in one or the other, gene, or it can, we can say that sudden change with respect to chromosome as well, structure of a chromosome. So that also we call as a mutation. So now, we'll talk about the allele or a gene. So in that case, instead of G being here, okay, so there is something that is going to come. So let's say this is going to be replaced by a C itself. So this we can call as a mutation. So instead of G, which was here earlier, so that G is replaced by the C. So now as the replacement has occurred, so it is not going to form a hemoglobin. Okay, so there is no hemoglobin formation now, because this is just an example. Okay, so this specific sequence was coding for a hemoglobin, but because of the mutation, what happened? So this G is replaced by a C. So there is a mutation that has occurred. So in that case, we can say that the hemoglobin is not formed anymore. So this individual has to face the difficulties with respect to his, hemoglobin is there mainly to supply oxygen. So there would be deficient oxygen supply that can be seen. Okay, so this is one condition. Now another type of mutation, that is with respect to structure of a chromosome. So let me just explain you this. Okay, so now these are the chromosomes. Okay, so this is one chromosome you can find, and this is another chromosome that you can find. So just a second. Okay, so this is one chromosome and this is another chromosome that you can find. So now with respect to this chromosome, so you might see that one, part of a chromosome has, it has shifted. So this is with respect to mutation now. Okay, so this is with respect to mutation. So there is a chance that this part of a chromosome has shifted here. Okay, so that we can, different terms are there. So there is a translocation. So different we can say mainly in general, so you need not put all of those terms. So translocation, then we have a terms like frame shift mutation. So all that you need not put in mind as of now. So you just remember that a part of chromosome can get shifted to other chromosome, or we can also say that the part of a chromosome gets deleted. Okay, so let's say here this is there. So now this part might get deleted. So not the whole part anyway. Let me just change this. Okay, so this part might get deleted, only a little of it. So that can also be a mutation. So mutation, when we mention, so a lot of changes are gonna occur. So let's get with the next question. So why do men suffer from hemophilia and color blindness? Under what conditions do women suffer from these disorders? Any idea that you guys have with respect to this? So this, this we call as a crisscross inheritance. I'll just explain you this. So this we call as what? So this is called as a crisscross inheritance. Okay, so this is now a crisscross inheritance. The meaning is that from father, okay, so if a father is affected, so he is going to transfer the disease to the daughter. Okay, so he is going to transfer the disease to the daughter. Okay, and if a mother is affected, so mother is going to transfer her disease to the son. Okay, so in that case, this itself we call as a crisscross inheritance. So this is basically a crisscross inheritance itself. So that is, males are being affected more here. Okay, so exact reason of this, why exactly male is affected more here, so that is because of the chromosome. Just a second. Yeah, so that is because of the chromosome which is there. So chromosome is working for this particular thing. So where you can see that the father is having a X and Y, the mother is having a XX. Okay, So if both the genes are affected, so let's take an example of a hemophilia. So in that case, if both the chromosomes are affected, so in that case she is like, it is a more probability that the son is going to get a disease. So here, even if one of the chromosome is affected, so in that case you can find that, just a second. Yeah, so in that case you can see that even if one is affected, so basically he is going to transfer the disease. So now with respect to that, we can say that as the female is having two X chromosome, okay, and the male is having only one X chromosome, so we can say that if one is affected, there is a other chromosome which is going to dominate the action of this one. So that means this will be suppressed. So this is going to be a recessive one, this is going to be a dominant one. So same way now, so let's have a look at this one. So if one is affected, so let's say only one chromosome is there, if one is going, like, if one is affected, so this is going to express itself fully, okay. So there is no another X chromosome to dominate the action of this chromosome. So in that case, this individual or this male is gonna get affected because this is going to express itself fully, and that's the reason this individual is going to have a disease, okay, because there is only one X chromosome, so there is no another X chromosome to dominate the action of a X chromosome. So this is going to express in its own way, this is going to express in its own way. Now when does a female is going to have a disease then? So female can have a disorder if and only if, so if both the genes, like if both the alleles are affected, so then only she can be hemophiliac, okay. So this female is hemophiliac only if both the genes are affected, okay. So that means this is also going to express for the faulty protein, okay. So this allele is expressing for a faulty protein, this allele is also expressing for a faulty protein. So in that case so proper clotting factor is not being formed. So if a clotting factor is not being formed, so there is no clot formation, okay. So since no clot formation, so there is a continuous bleeding which can even lead to the death of an individual if it is not treated, okay. So there is a particular injections like clotting factor injection can be given, or it can be available, like medicines can be available, so those can also be taken here. So with respect to that, we can say that hemophilia or a color blindness, so these are going to occur more in case of a male, okay. So you can see that, just a second. Yeah, so color blindness, so this can be with respect to color blindness. The other one is the hemophilia. So color blindness and hemophilia, so you find this more in a male, okay. So the chances of male having a diseases are more, just a second. Okay. Okay, so chances of male having a disorder are more here, okay. So chances of male, okay, so male getting the disorder, okay. So chances of male having the disorder, so let me just complete this. Disorder are more, okay. So that is because only one X chromosome is present, okay. So this is present, the other, so this is going to express, so this X chromosome, one second. Yeah, so this X chromosome is going to express fully, okay. So this faulty X chromosome is going to express itself fully. So in that case, the individual is gonna get affected. But in case of female, this is not the case. So this can be with respect to a faulty chromosome. In case of female, since we have two X chromosome, if one is not working fine, if one of the allele is expressing for a faulty protein, so that is going to be a recessive one, because the other normal healthy chromosome, or what is there, or a gene, what is it, so that is going to express itself. So that will act as a dominant, and the faulty one is going to act as a recessive. Only if both the alleles of a chromosomes are affected, only in that case the female is going to have a color blindness or a hemophilia, or otherwise this is not going to happen. Okay, so that is why we say that this is more. So this we saw already. Okay, so that is on Y chromosome, so do not carry alleles for these traits. Okay, and they have one X chromosome and Y chromosome. So Y chromosome does not carry alleles for these traits, so therefore the recessive genes are able to express even in a single dose, that is even if one is there, so that will be expressing. So females are having a 2X chromosome, therefore both the alleles have to be present in a recessive form to be able to express. So thus females suffer only if the homozygous for the trait which is possible when a carrier or a sufferer female marries a sufferer male, or otherwise this is not possible. Okay, state Mendel's law of dominance now. Okay, 1 second. So you need to state the Mendel's law of dominance. So a pure tall plant is crossed with a pure dwarf plant. Okay, so tall plant is crossed with the dwarf plant. So let's see here. So draw a Punnett square to show the F2 generation. So that is the F1 generation and F2 generation. So this is the same thing. So tall plant is being crossed with the dwarf plant here. Okay, so in that case you can see that. So this is all of them are going to be tall. So this is now a F1 generation. So this is of a F1 generation. So same we are crossing. So TT we are crossing here. Okay, so when we make a cross between these TT, so this is going to be TT, this is going to be TT, that is heterozygous. So this is going to be heterozygous and this is homozygous. So here you can find 3:1 as a phenotypic ratio, 1:2:1 as the genotypic ratio. So 3 of them are tall and 1 of them is dwarf. Okay, so here all tall. Okay, so all of them are tall here. So this we have already seen. Okay, so this is already done. So let's go with the next one. So this is with respect to sex determination in case of a man. So how a sex is determined. Okay, so how exactly sex determination occurs? So the difference between the two individuals of the same species, that is with respect to heredity. So that we know as a sex. Okay, so now an individual can either be male or this individual can either be female. Okay, so this can be male or this can be female. So that is in a normal circumstances. Okay, so scientists have discovered that the sex is transmitted by definite sex chromosome. So from where this sex chromosome coming? So you know these are basically coming from the ovum and the sperm. Okay, so now which are also called as a heterosome, or we can also call them as a allosome also. Okay, so now the human body cells have two sex chromosome. So you can find a woman having the XX. Okay, and the man, or we can say male or a man, so having one X chromosome and the other one being the Y chromosome. So you can find this combination as well. So what they have done here, so let's just do this. Okay, I'll do it here. Okay, so now this is a ovum. Okay, so this is a ovum. So ovum produces what? Ovum is having two X chromosome. Okay, now sperm is there. So sperm is having what? So sperm you can find two of them. So let's put this the crossing that we need to know in order to know the gamete formation. So now we'll take only this X. So this X is gonna combine with this X. So this child, so now this is a sperm actually. So this is a sperm, this is a sperm, this is a egg and this is a egg. Okay, so in that case Yes, Shivam, you can ask your question. Okay, so in this case, now you can see that one of the egg is being penetrated by the sperm. So you can see that this is the XX combination. That means now this child is going to be a female. Okay, so this is a female now. All right. Okay, so the next one again will take the same combination now. So let's put up this one. So now you can see this X which is gonna combine with this one. Okay, so in that case you can see that the X and the Y combination you can see. Okay, so now this child is going to be a male. Okay, so this is now a male. So ovum, this ovum is can also be penetrated by the Y bearing sperm. So now another case also we can take. So same way. So now this is another X. So this X and this X are combining. So again this can be XX. So that means this is a female. Now this X and this Y can combine. So this is XY. So this is going to be a male. Okay. So in that case there is a equal probability, like 50-50% chance that depending on a type of a sperm. So ovum anyway it is always both of them are going to be XX, but the male is the one who is going to decide the sex of the fetus. Like it is not completely in its hand. It is basically based on the which type of a sperm is penetrating the ovum. So based on that you can see a progeny formation. So in this case you can see that there is X bearing sperm and then there is Y bearing sperm. So if a X bearing sperm is penetrating, so XX is gonna combine, so that means female. If a Y bearing sperm is gonna combine with the X, so in that case it is the XY, so that means it is going to be male. So same combination you can find with the other X chromosome as well. Okay, yes, Shivam, what is the doubt? Okay, so before I end this session, so because we have come to the end of this session, all right, you can type in your question. I'll answer it. I'll just check it. So before that I'll just say about this. So now we have come up with the ICSE Premier League, that is IPL. Just a second. So this is for ICSE class. Okay, so now series of free sessions that we are conducting, so that is to cover the important topics and questions with Unacademy top educators. So PCMB, like all these subjects are being covered. So the start date is 6th of May and it is there till 31st of May. So we will be conducting different IPL matches. Okay, so you will have access to these because these sessions are absolutely free. So all you need to do is download the Unacademy Learners app and start taking these sessions. Okay, so there is a gladiators batch which started on May 4th and the mode of delivery here is English. So if you are subscribing for class 10, you will be getting class 11 and 12 subscription absolutely free. Okay, and here also the Titans batch which is gonna which has already started on May 11th. Here the mode of delivery is English. So both of these batches, what I said, so you have an option to watch the recording, and then you have this like many more classes are yet to go live, so you can take up the live sessions as well. Okay, and as the prices are rising soon, you can go for the subscription as fast as possible because there is a price hike that is gonna happen. So if you are planning to take the subscription, so you can make it faster. So introducing community, so never miss on any update from your favorite educator. Get session notes and practice material. Share your feedback directly with the educator via poll. Okay, so Bugs Bounty, so this is opportunity for all learners to report any inappropriate content in the video. So be the first one to report a particular claim, particular issue to claim your prize. Then report any inappropriate content using the form in the description. So how you can watch my special class? All you need to do is okay, So download the Unacademy Learner app, open the app and click on get started. Then you can enter your mobile number and the OTP. So sign up using your email ID. Then you can select the class 6 to 12. Then you can select your class. So that is basically you can select your category there and select the preferred language. Once you do all of this, you can go to the description of this video. Then click on the you will find a special class link there. So click on that link and you will click on notify me to get notified about the session 10 minutes before. You can also use my code, though my code is Vani YT. Okay, so this is my code. So with this referral code you will be getting 10% discount on the subscription. Also you can use the same code Vani YT to unlock the free products that are there on Unacademy platform. Okay, so see you all in the next session. Thank you everyone. Subscribe to our channel, that is Unacademy ICSE and ISC boards. Click on bell icon to get notified about the session. Like and share the video and download the Unacademy Learners app. So this PDF, if you need, you can join my Telegram channel and ask me there. Okay, so that is Vani Kari ICSE Class 9 and 10 Biology. You can search and you can join in the Telegram there. Okay, and I'll be sending the PDF. Okay, all right then, so we are at the end of the session, so I'll end this. Okay, so see you all in the next session. Bye bye everyone. Thank you.